Hey guys, welcome to today's reading. This one is your April forecast. So we're going to see what's going on in the month of April for you. All the things you need to be aware of, all the things you can look forward to, the good, the bad, the in between. We're going to get into all of it. And today we have a selection of different cards for you to choose from. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And basically, you're going to see which of these cards is sticking out to you, calling your name, drawing your attention in towards it. And then as soon as you make up your mind, you can just scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. And if you like how I read tarot and you want to see more of it, you can head on over to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted a reading all about your career, and before that I posted a money reading, and I also posted a love reading. So there's lots of different content for you to choose from. Over 80 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon, and you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. And we also vote, and you guys suggest new readings over there as well. So it's super interactive. There's a lot of content. And if you're interested in joining us over there, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me on Patreon. Also, I do private sessions at my website, briarrosetarot.com. So whether you want me to just open channel, do an energy check-in, see what you need to know right now, or whether you want me to get down into some really specific answers for one certain situation, either one works, and you can book your time slot with me at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and get some clarity for whatever you want to tune into in your life. So like I said, link is in my description, briarrosetarot.com. So that's about all I have to say, guys. Now, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need. But we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the Page of Swords reversed, the Lovers, Page of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. So leading off the reading, the Page of Swords reversed, I'm getting the message that this could be some unwanted communication. So if there has been like an email you've been dreading receiving, or some kind of communication you haven't wanted, like a phone call that you're like putting off, or you're like, oh, I hope they don't call me, I hope they don't contact me, you guys might be getting this in April. This could even be something that you've just been dreading doing when it comes to communication, organization, information. So even something like doing your taxes, of course, it's tax season in America, or if there's been like a work project you really haven't wanted to do, like maybe you've been putting off redesigning your website or organizing your office or going through old emails or some kind of project or talking to a client that you just really don't want to deal with. It feels like there's something in the month of April that needs to be addressed and could come to a head. It's almost like if you've been putting it off, I'm hearing, especially at the beginning of the month, this could really come out and like you can't ignore it anymore. So especially something you've been procrastinating, but this doesn't feel like something that you've been procrastinating that like, oh, it's going to be fun. And maybe you've been nervous about a creative project, but it's going to be cool. It feels like whatever this is, it really is kind of tricky, and there's stuff to navigate, and there's a lot of information or planning that has to happen, a lot of like data and maybe annotating or putting in information somehow. But it just feels like this isn't really pleasant to deal with. So something in April feels like it comes to a head when it comes to a document you should do, email communication you should be having, something to do with work or organization, anything like that. So yeah, not the best, but the rest of the reading, we have some more positive cards. The next card is the Lover. If you're in a relationship, I feel like this is going to be an amazing month for you to get closer with your person, to deepen your connection. And even if you're single, this could be an amazing month to meet people. Some of you guys, the energy around you is going to be amazing to go out, to mingle, to meet people. And I also feel like I have some singles in this group who maybe have been doing a lot of shadow work and have been working on themselves and trying to make themselves better and more capable of getting in a relationship. And I am feeling like this month it's just going swimmingly. If it's felt like you were in the muck and the mire of shadow work and you were like, oh, this is just awful, and I'm going through all these trauma like work, and I'm trying to fix this, and I'm trying to fix my attachment style, or whatever the case may be, It feels like this month gets a lot easier and you almost may get some confirmation that you're on the right path. So if you've been single for a while and you haven't had any major prospects, maybe you go out on a really great date and you're flirting and it's just magic. And even if it doesn't work out, you're like, oh, okay, confirmation. Yay, that was my best date in a while. So I know I'm on the right path. Or this could literally be a great month to actually meet your person, or if you're with someone, to really deepen the connection. I'm hearing that song by Taylor Swift, Slut, which is kind of a very, like, how do I say, a very intense title, I guess, but that song is actually super romantic if you look up that song. And so I feel like this is a very beautiful month for you to kind of like deepen your romantic emotional connections. This could even be like meeting a friend or meeting a business acquaintance or something, but it feels like there's a meeting of the minds and there's a broadening and opening up of yourself. I feel like you're more willing to open your emotions up, more willing to open your soul up than you were in the past. It feels like you may have been closed off for a while and now you're really starting to be like, you know what? Let me let this person in, or let me let this person get closer to me, or let me, let this business partnership really take flight. Either way, I feel like this is going to be a really great month for you when it comes to your relationships. And that really seems to be a highlight for you because we also got the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is a really multi-layered card, like all the tarot cards, but it can have a bunch of different meanings. And the Three of Cups could indicate you going out and really socializing, this being a really social month for you. Going out, maybe drinking, maybe having fun, meeting people. Either way, I feel like this month, first of all, you look really good physically. You're just glowing and you feel like you're really letting out a magnetic energy. You're really drawing people in this month. People are drawn to you. People are noticing you. It's almost like you're the life of the party, or you can do no wrong. This could be a great month for meeting strangers or hitting it off with like a random person in a coffee shop and exchanging numbers and they ask you to help on their business project or something. It feels like socializing for you would be really, really fruitful this month. So going out socializing could be indicated by the Three of Cups for sure. This could also be being in a relationship with someone who could also be a little bit of a flirt, or maybe that's something you're worrying about in the relationship. I'm not gonna lie, for some of you guys, the Three of Cups can indicate infidelity, but this is upright, so hopefully it doesn't mean that. Hopefully it just means fun. And if you do have a romantic committed partner, maybe a partner that's just very in demand, maybe a partner that a lot of other people admire or like or think is attractive, and you might just be having fun with them and going out and enjoying, a dinner out with like some glasses of wine with this person, or going out with your besties, with your friends, and drinking, dancing, and yeah, having all the good times. Then we also got the Page of Pentacles. I'm feeling like this could be a move for some of you guys, or planning a move. It feels like financially and business-wise, things are really positive for you this month. It feels like things are moving ahead in a really good trajectory. And I'm also feeling like there may be a partnership coming in when it comes to your career, someone who wants to partner up, or you even reaching out for that. Spirit is saying for you, it may be a really good idea for you to look for another partnership, or to look for some kind of almost like collaboration with someone else, or maybe it could be like a new client, or working with someone new, or teaming up with someone in your job. But it does feel like almost like bringing a new person in and partnering up with them somehow. And I feel like you're just making really good forward strides when it comes to your career. Things seem like they're really moving swimmingly when it comes to that. Let me get some more tarot cards for pile number 1. We want to see what's happening in the month of April for pile 1. The Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, things moving ahead with your career. That's too many cards, Spirit. Oh, that one definitely wanted to come out, I guess, though. We got it kind of came out before. We put it back and it still came out. The Empress, I'm telling you, you guys are looking super beautiful this month. People are noticing it. Nine of Cups, again, just a beautiful, happy, fun energy around you this month. If you're partnered up, I feel like this is going to be such a fun month for you to just really enjoy time with your person. Go out, like I said, maybe drink a little bit with them, maybe have fun, maybe have a long, lingering dinner and have some glasses of wine or something. But either way, it feels like whether you're single, whether you're in a partnership, this is a month where you are really meant to enjoy. And I'm also feeling like Spirit is mentioning this to me as like a conscious choice that you're making. So it feels like maybe some of you guys have chosen, maybe you have been working really hard for a while and now you're choosing to kind of step away from that a little and make things a little bit easier on yourself, not push yourself as hard, not feel like you have to work yourself to the bone so much. It feels like whatever is going on with you, you're kind of like making a decision of like, I don't want to just work to the point where I'm exhausted, or I don't want to sacrifice my personal life for my work life. So it feels like you're choosing to move away somehow, and you're choosing to spend your time doing the things you love more and more. And I actually feel like this is giving you a very magnetic energy. So you might make more money this month because you're choosing to focus more on your emotional side as well. And you might choose also, I'm hearing some of you guys with this Ten of Swords are choosing to give something up. So if there's been something in your life that you've been pushing on, hoping is going to somehow change or be better or work out differently, I'm hearing this month you are going to leave it behind and just kind of drop it. Whatever you had been hoping would somehow work out or somehow be better, feels like this month you're just like, you know what, I'm done. And actually feels like that's a bit of a relief and really frees your energy as well. This could be also getting rid of a friend or letting go of some kind of relationship that was troubling you in the past. Yeah, because you are also looking at it differently with the Hanged Man. Some of you guys are really reassessing, I feel like, every aspect of your life. And this is where I could also see a move for some of you guys. I don't know why, but I'm really seeing a move or some kind of change in location happening. It could even be like traveling, but I feel like even if you traveled somewhere this month, you may be thinking about like, maybe I should move here. Like, I really don't like where I live, or again, I feel like this month things are coming to a head for you with things that you have put off doing in the past, things you maybe tried to put on rose-colored glasses and be like, no, I'm happy. No, I love my job. And now this month you're like, I have to address this. Or in the past, if you've been like, no, I love where I live, you're like, I really want to move. So you might not make the move this month, but it may really come to your mind of like, I've got to do it this month. And for some of you guys, I feel like there could definitely be an actual move happening this month. But whatever it is, I feel like this month is also a great month of planning and getting an idea of what you want for the future and for the rest of the year. It feels like you're really starting to seeing the layout of the land, seeing how things are going to shape up for you. So if you were up in the air or uncertain about certain trajectories you were on, like maybe you're like, what's going to happen with my job? Or what's going to happen with this relationship? You're starting to see, okay, that's what's going to happen. And I also feel like for those of you guys who want to get pregnant, this could be a chance of you getting pregnant this month. Some of you guys are going to be very fertile this month. That's not a message for everyone, but yeah, the Empress coming down underneath the Lovers. It could definitely be a month of fertility. So yeah, let's get into some of these cards for pile one for the month of April. What is happening for pile one for the month of April? Door to value. Ooh, love when we get that card. It's such a positive card, abundant card. Patience and caring connections. It's definitely a romantic month for you guys. And finally, the thinking woman. I do feel like you're doing a lot of thinking. It also feels like there's someone who's coming in that wants more of your time or wants more of your attention. I'm hearing that line that's like, I want your sweet love and devotion. And I feel like maybe this is someone you're in a relationship with and you just spend more time with them, or the early stages of a relationship where you're just like, addicted to the person, you just want to be around them all the time. I feel like if you're in that situation, this person really, really, really likes you. Or if you're single, you might just be having a lot of people come in who really want to be around you all the time, really want to date you, and want something serious about you. And Spirit is also sending you a message that you have all the time in the world, so be patient, relax. No need to hurry or no need to feel worried with this. I actually feel like this message is for you over your whole life, not just relationship wise, but career wise. They want to remind you that you have plenty of time. So relax, take it easy. You don't need to worry. You don't need to stress, because things are going to work out for you. And I feel like things are also unfolding at exactly the rate they are supposed to unfold at. Let me get some of these cards. Yeah, I also feel like, again, I keep getting that vibe that, I don't know what this is, but some of you guys have been wanting to do like a project, or there's something you've been wanting to do for the longest time. And it almost feels like this month you're like, you know what? I'm just going to give up on it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe you were hoping something would happen. It hasn't happened. You kept waiting for the stars to align. You kept kind of holding out hope. And then you just kind of decide like, whatever, I'm just going to move on. I'm just going to focus on the rest of my life. And I actually feel like that can be quite freeing from you. And there's a message that it's okay to step away from it. And if you decide to pick it back up later, it will still be there waiting for you. But whatever this is, it feels like you're really being very clear and kind of careful with how you spend your time this month. The stuff you used to be willing to do that was maybe draining or kind of just a time waster that wasn't really bringing a whole lot of value, it feels like you don't have any more time with that. And I am saying that, hearing that some of you guys need to carve out time, again with that Page of Swords reversed, to really take care of whatever this is, because there is a risk for some of you guys who are like in a new relationship or who are dating. There could be a risk of overindulgence this month, or kind of like spending too much time doing the things you love and that are just really fun. 9 of Cups, 3 of Cups. And not actually dealing with the stuff that you really need to deal with, and not really focusing on the hard kind of like drag parts of life. So just make sure that if there's something you really need to do with your career or with a document, that you're actually taking time to do that. Let's get some of these cards. What messages do we have for the month of April for pile number 1, Spirit? So we got skywriting the fates. I love when that card comes out. It's always nice to know fate is doing something for us. And yeah, I feel like, again, I'm seeing a move, and this could be like symbolic as well, but it feels like you're really stepping into something. I'm telling you, some of you guys are super fertile this month. Winter's dream, gestation period. Yeah, some of you guys could be getting pregnant this month, or you're just very fertile at this time, or even giving birth or something like that, talking about it, making plans about it. Yeah, but either way, I feel like for you, you're really deciding to move forward with something in your life. It feels like this has been a long time coming. Maybe this is the effects of Pluto really kind of starting to not fully settle, because of course it's going to transit on out of it back into Capricorn. But we're really starting to fully see the effects of Pluto in Aquarius and start to fully get more into that energy. It's not all the way in, it's not settled in for good, but it's you know, it's really happening now. And so for some of you guys, this could be feeling the effects of Pluto in Aquarius that's really changing you, and you're really discovering who you want to be, because it almost feels like your trajectory that you've been on, or the path that you've been on, really shifted and changed. And the way it's at now is so different than the way it was a month ago from now. This could be a really impactful month for you. I feel like some of you guys are having your like beliefs questioned. Like maybe you told yourself things like, well, I would never work that kind of a job, and then you get that kind of a job, or I would never date that kind of a person, and then you date that kind of a person. It feels like you're kind of discovering new aspects of yourself, but I feel like in a really exciting way. So I could also see this group traveling a little bit in this month, because that's such Sagittarius energy, discovering your new boundaries, discovering different parts of yourself, facets of yourself, and almost like discovering your strengths and how much more powerful you are than you thought you were. Let me get some message cards for pile number 1 for the month of April. Let me get some message cards from pile 1 for the month of April. What is going to be happening in the month of April? What message does pile 1 need to hear? Wow. That one says, things are not what they seem. You are only trapped by your illusion. Okay. What freedom do you seek is the question on that card. This one says, it's all in divine order. Allow. How can you relax into the flow and go with the current of life? Okay. Oneness is the way. How can you show more compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? And let's get one more message. You are the joy seeker. What little victories can you celebrate? So I feel like this month, it's almost like this is the month of you relaxing a little bit more into the energy, not being as stressed out or not being as like much of a, I don't want to say control freak because I don't want to say y'all were control freaks, but not feeling like you have to micromanage as much of your life or plan out every detail. I feel like this is a month of you kind of going with the flow and learning to discover different parts of yourself that you maybe didn't know were there, or maybe thought, well, I'll never do that, or I could never go there, or whatever. And really kind of pushing your own boundaries, but in a cool way. Like I feel like the rigid energy you may have had in the past, or feeling like you had to be a certain way, is really starting to fade out. And you're starting to move into more of a receptive energy, a calm energy, and just learning to welcome in the abundance and the gifts and the joy that the universe has for you. So this feels like a real month of joy seeking, going out, celebrating, having fun, spending time with others, drinking in the energy of others, even going out and seeing like plays or going to an art gallery, creative things. I feel like you are really in that like cup energy, which is really drinking in the beauty of life and the beauty of connection with others, the beauty of creativity and art, and kind of those things that make us feel alive. I mean, I'm biased because I'm a water, sun, moon, and grand water trine, but I really think water, the cups to me is like the most fun of the tarot cards, the tarot suits, because it's just like relationships and love and emotions. But that's probably my Pisces sun talking. But I mean, the other elements are cool too. I just think with this cups energy, it just feels like it's all the good things for you. It's all the blessings and the enjoyment, and maybe drinking a little too much, maybe, you know, eating a little too much or celebrating a little too much. But you know what? Isn't that what life is all about anyway? So I feel like you're taking almost like the gas off the brakes or the pressure off yourself, and you're learning to just luxuriate in this month, which is such a beautiful energy for you. Let me get some astrology dice for pile number 1. See what astrological energy is at play for pile number 1. So we got the North Node, the second house, Taurus, and then we got Aquarius. Speaking of beautiful, luxurious energy, the second house, Taurus. Love that for you guys as well. So the second house, Taurus energy, Venus energy is all about the good things in life. It's also about earned income, relying on ourselves, trusting ourselves, but it's also about sensual indulgence. So yeah, good food, good drink, good clothing, good connection with others, good relationships, all the things that come with that, all the senses. So it's a very sensual energy as well. But yeah, the second house, I feel like a lot of you guys, this could be a really great food month. I know that sounds weird, but this could be a great month for you to go out and eat things, go out and drink things, try new flavors. I feel like you're kind of being called to be more in your body, more of a human this month. I think sometimes, you know, us in the spiritual community, we deal with a lot of like high level spiritual issues, and we're kind of always in our heads, or, you know, we think a lot. And second house, Taurus energy, earth energy is all about being in the body and really feeling things as a human, and reminding ourselves that we're not just up on the astral plane, like experiencing a spiritual lesson. We are still humans, and we're meant to embody our humanness and to, you know, fall in love and lay in the grass and smell the flowers and feel the rain on our skin or the sun on our skin. And so I feel like you're really doing that this month. Then we have the nodes, the North Node. This could be a destiny month. Like I said, I feel like some of you guys, Pluto in Aquarius, and we have Aquarius, is settling in, and we are really starting to see how this is going to shift you or change you, or how this is shaping up. How is your life changing? How are you you know, becoming a different version of yourself. You could also look up your progress chart, because I feel like for some of you guys, you might have a planet that just completely switched signs. Like you might find that your Venus totally switched suddenly and transited into like Sagittarius from Scorpio, and now you're like, oh, that's why my love life just changed completely. That's why now I have a totally different vibe that's been around me. So it could be interesting to, especially of course with Venus, it would be your love life. If it's your communication, it would be your Mercury. You know, when it comes to your career, you could look at something like the 10th house and see what planet, or see, you know, what's happening in your progressed chart there. But I feel like for you guys, there is something major going on with your chart, and something switching up, and something that is really altering your destiny, really altering you as a person. And you're kind of finding different versions of yourself, or unleashing a part of yourself that maybe in the past you didn't fully allow to happen. It's like we're kind of taking the brakes off. Then we also have Aquarius energy. Aquarius is the energy of the unique, the bold, the innovator, change, major change that comes out of the blue, shock and surprise. Again, I feel like there's a lot of surprises happening for you. And Aquarius is also very kind of emotionally removed, and they don't mind like telling people no, making people mad. It is the water bear, so the water bear has to be disciplined and tell people like, no, you had your water today. That's all you get. I need to give it to others. So I feel like for you guys, you're kind of putting up more boundaries and learning to be a little selfish this month and do the things you really love. I feel like that's a major focus for you in the month of April, is like, no more of those kind of all obligatory, like, oh, just do this because I need to, but more like, what do I love to do? What do I enjoy doing? And let me just ignore the things that were draining me. So yeah, that is what I have for you, pile one. I really hope it resonates. If it does, let me know down in the comments. And if you're interested in seeing more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a really in-depth career reading where we get into all kinds of details about your career. Before that, I posted a money reading, and there's also a love reading up that's really recent, but there are over 80 exclusive readings you'll only get access to as soon as you sign up for Patreon. And new readings go up all the time. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos, so they always get posted over there first. And you also get to vote and suggest new topics over on Patreon. So if all of that sounds good to you and you want to sign up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you would like to get a private one-on-one session with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can book a slot with me, whether you want me to open channel for you and just kind of let whatever messages come through that need to come through, or you have some really specific burning questions you want to get to the bottom of. Either one works, but if you would like to book a time with me, like I said, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile number two, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards. So you guys got the Moon, the Hermit, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands reversed. So what I am seeing around you guys right away as I tune into your energy, Spirit keeps showing me books. I don't know if that means something to someone. Maybe someone's working on a book. Maybe someone's a big reader, reads a lot. But I am seeing books around you guys. And the Moon card in tarot can definitely connote a lot of creativity. It is ruled by Pisces. So this could be a very creative month for you guys. You could be getting downloads about something you should do creatively, and I could definitely see how that could translate into writing a book or something like that. It could also just be a very spiritual month for you in general, broadening spiritual knowledge. I'm hearing some of you guys are learning more about astrology, or researching into that, maybe even learning to do your own chart. Of course, the moon is a major aspect in astrology, a major planet. But for some of you guys, you could just be getting really intense spiritual downloads, getting dreams. We also have the Hermit, and the Hermit is also extremely, extremely spiritual, and a really, really deep learner, and ruled by Virgo. So very intelligent signs. Virgo is also an incredible writer. Virgo is in so many writers' charts. Like I always feel like, you know how people talk about like the Nepo baby discourse? Like, can we talk about the Virgo placement discourse in Virgo placement favoritism in writing? Because it's so unfair how many famous writers have major Virgo placements. But of course, they got that fair and square. I'm only joking about the Nepo baby discourse because it's just they just have such a talented way with words. And so for you guys this month, you may really have something that you're feeling called to write, something that you're feeling called to put together, or some kind of creative project that you really want to put out. I also feel like this could be a month of a lot of inward learning, a lot of deep thinking happening for you this month, realizing things, as Kylie Jenner said in her, what do you want to do this year? Iconic quote. Yeah, this could be a month of realizing things and really doing a lot of shadow work, really doing a lot of deep knowledge. You might not be spending as much time with others this month, or even if you are spending time with others, you might just be marching to the beat of your own drum and kind of stepping aside or away from the crowd, and really thinking things through for yourself. I'm hearing a message that for some of you guys, you have a big decision to make this month. Feels like there's something very like impactful happening for you in the month of April, or some decision, like I said, a decision you have to make, like, okay, am I going to go to this college or that college, or am I going to spend my summer here, or am I going to take this job, or am I going to date this person? But it feels like whatever this decision is, it's big, and Spirit is saying you may need some time on your own to think it over and to weigh it over. And Spirit is also sending you a message not to be afraid to like make this decision for yourself instead of for others. Instead of thinking about like, oh, but they're going to be so mad if I turn that down. Make sure you're making the best decision that is right for you, because actually you know it very well in your heart, pile number 2. I feel like if there is a decision you've been agonizing about or weighing over, and I just looked at my timer, it was 333, yeah, 333. So confirmation, angel number. But yeah, if there's been something you've been weighing over, Spirit is saying you guys are so intuitive and so psychic. If you just meditated for like 5 minutes, you would know the answer. Maybe like 5 seconds, because for me, I always find my answers or downloads, the most important spiritual downloads that want to come through, they're like right there waiting. And I often have to just learn to trust the first thing that comes to my mind. Like if I ask a question to Spirit and just a flash comes in, that's the thing I needed to hear. Sometimes we think we need to meditate for like, an hour, and, you can if you want, and there can be greater information and downloads that come through when you meditate for longer. That's definitely true. But also sometimes it's that first thing, especially when Spirit or your guides or your angels really have something important they want to tell you. And so if there's been something you've been putting off, or there's been something you've been kind of like going back and forth about, and you have to make your mind up but you don't know, I feel like you do know deep down. And if you just sat back, got in a quiet place, maybe laid down or sat down and just paused for a moment and listened to the quiet, I feel like you would hear that answer and you would know what you were supposed to do. Yeah, it feels like this decision has something to do with like the summer, or maybe there's a timetable around the summer, but yeah, something going on with the summer, and something you have to make your mind up about. And I feel like you really need to do the decision that's right for you, is what Spirit is saying. Not right for anyone else, right for you. So we also got the Ace of Pentacles. So this could be even like a new job for some of you guys, or something new happening when it comes to your career, how you make money, even like a side hustle or a new income, something with that. Yeah, this could be like you taking on a new job. I'm also hearing meeting a new friend for some of you guys. You might be meeting a new friend, making a friend. And also I'm hearing for some people, this could be a new addition to the family. So like a new baby, or if you have a sibling, they could be having a baby, or even like a close family friend could be having a baby. But with the Ace of Pentacles, I do feel like there's a new kind of person that wants to come in and be a part of your life. And I feel like you guys have a little bit of a guarded energy around you for this month. Like you're not welcoming in absolutely everyone. You're not open to everyone. But I do feel like with this Ace of Pentacles, this could be a valuable addition to your life. Although with the Five of Wands, it feels like some of you guys may be a little burnt out on other people. You may have felt like there was some unnecessary conflict, or just people who were not really cooperating, not really people you wanted to be around. And Spirit is also calling on you to be careful about your spiritual hygiene in the month of April. So making sure that you take spiritual baths. Especially if you've been feeling really energetically drained, you may be absorbing other people's energy into your aura. And if that's the case, you could take some spiritual baths. I love to take an Epsom salt bath, and I personally say prayer to Saint Michael over the water 3 times, but there's so many different rituals. You basically want to, charge the water and mention that you want the water to cleanse your energy. There's lots of different ways for you to do that. Or excuse me, I don't say the prayer to Saint Michael. I say Psalm 23 over it 3 times. But anyway, you can do lots of different rituals. You could ask Saint Michael to help if you want. You could ask a lot of different deities to help with that. But either way, the point is taking a spiritual bath or saging your apartment, taking the time to recharge and to cleanse your energy out, even just going out into nature and grounding yourself on the grass or on the dirt, or even imagining, like if you feel like you have negative energy in your body, taking a shower, imagining it going down the drain, or imagining when you're on a walk or something, the energy kind of pouring down into the ground. And I always like to clear the top of my head with my hands, because we can carry energy at the top of our head, spiritual energy. There's so many different ways to clear your energy. I just feel like some of you guys have like some congested spiritual energy, and you may have someone around you at this time who's kind of like tugging on your consciousness or just requires a lot from you. And I feel like there is a reminder from Spirit that you don't have to like compromise your energy for anyone else's energy. So making sure that you're being not selfish, but that you're putting yourself first in this, and you're not just burning yourself out for the benefit of everyone else around you, because pile number 2, you matter too, just as much as anyone else does. So Spirit doesn't want you to sacrifice your well-being for their well-being. Let's get into some more cards for pile number 2. What messages do we have for the month of April? What's happening in the month of April for pile number 2? Ace of Wands. The Sun. So we have double fire energy. That's a good sign. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. And who is it? Some of you guys in this pile, it's almost like you're resentful of someone, or there's someone around you. This could be someone that really did you bad, pile number 2. Someone that I feel like it's almost like it weighs on you, and you've been thinking a lot on who this person is, what they did, how they did you wrong. And pile number 2, you're really being called to focus on your own path and being known. Spirit wants you to know that this person will face their karma. They will face whatever consequences they have to face. Your job is to focus on yourself and your bright light. And again, I feel like you have some major creative gifts, pile 2. That you're just a creative person in general, and definitely in the month of April, it may be supercharged. And pile number 2, you're really being called to focus on that. You have something very special about you, pile 2. We got the Sun card for you as well. So you're being really called to shine brightly. For some of you guys, this could even be you've been thinking about launching like a social media account, like a TikTok, although that might be going away in the US, but who knows, right? Like a TikTok or a YouTube or an Instagram, and really not being afraid anymore, because I feel like there's something so beguiling and special and interesting about you, that people really want to know you. And this may be, if this person did you wrong, this person may have done you wrong because they were jealous of that, because they were jealous of the attention you got from others because of the Sun card, the Six of Wands. There's something about you that just draws people in and has people's attention, and just instantly you get that focus. The Sun, of course, is the planet or the star all the planets rotate around, and in astrology, of course, it rules over Leo, and Leo is like the center of attention energy. Leo's so creatively gifted. So again, this call on you not to be afraid to really acknowledge and accept your gifts and how special you are, instead of downplaying it for others or hiding away in the shadows. So I really feel like this month you're being called to kind of not hold yourself back for others or not worry. There's also some of you guys in this pile that like you have wanted to do something creative, but then there's a part of you that's like, yeah, but if I do that, they're going to think it's lame, or this person would try to sabotage it, or that person's going to be a hater. And you're really being called upon to like not care or even worry about that and just focus on doing your own thing, and that everything is going to play out magically as it should. And I think you're going to be really happy the more authentic you are with yourself, the more truthful and real, and the more you pivot towards your own likes and interests and destiny instead of worrying about others and what they would think. I think the better off you're going to be. So this could also be a beautiful new creative idea. We got the Ace of Wands. I'm also seeing someone journal. I feel like journaling is going to be really important for you this month because, again, I feel like you're really channeling stuff. A lot of you guys are really getting some deep downloads. So write down your dreams. Write down what comes to mind. Maybe even keep a meditation journal and write down what comes up when you meditate and what, thoughts come to mind on like a random day. What's the download that you're getting? So let's get into some of these cards. I'm also hearing some of you guys could get reached out to from an ex this month. And this person's definitely lurking your social media as well. Oh my gosh, look how, this is crazy. Look how psychic you guys are. We got the two upper chakra angels. And speaking of me talking about, the top of the head, here we have the crown chakra, which is exactly that psychic chakra that carries energy that I was talking about cleansing. And that's activated for you guys. We got the 6th chakra and the 7th chakra, Archangel Metatron and Archangel Uriel. So the third eye chakra, the crown chakra, yeah, you guys are really, really psychic this month. I'm even hearing for some of you guys, you could like give tarot readings to other people this month. Or if you've been thinking of doing a tarot reading or anything with that, you could like practice on your friends this month. Or if you don't want to do that, you could just do it for yourself, meditate for yourself, pull tarot for yourself, or write down your dreams for yourself. But I really feel like pile number 2, you're so psychic. You're picking up on so much this month. And also Metatron deals with writing, also organization. So you could call on him if you are doing a creative project that involves writing. Call on him for help, call on him for guidance. He is the scribe of the Akashic Records, also with that karmic lesson. Again, spirit sees everything. The Akashic Records go for everyone. So don't worry about if this person did you wrong, are they going to get away with it? Trust me, they will. Let's get some more cards for pile number 2. Yin, Yang, and let's get one more. The Garden and the Gate. Okay, cool. So we have yin yang, the garden, and the gate. Awesome. Yeah, it feels like this is a bit more of an inward month. I'm not seeing you guys go out as much this month and be social. It feels like you're spending more time inside this month. Feels like you have a lot to do. We also got the 8 of Pentacles. So you guys could just be in full work mode. If you're in school, you might be dealing with a lot with school or at work, it's a busy month. I feel like some of you guys this month almost might feel like same old, but you're also making incredible strides with your career. And I feel like you're making a lot of progress, but especially when it comes to your spirituality really seems to be a highlight for you, and something that is just, you're growing in leaps and bounds. You're just really making strides and getting better and better and better at spirituality in a way that I feel like is really unprecedented. You have not had these kinds of levels of gifts before. And now I feel like you guys are really deepening in your spiritual practices, and you're really, really learning how to channel at will and ask spirit questions and get answers whenever you want. So you're going to be very powerful at the end of this. And sometimes when we're especially kind of learning this, when we're learning our spiritual abilities, we might not have as strong boundaries. It takes time to learn the boundaries part of spiritual abilities. And I feel like that's why for you guys, spiritual protection, cleansing, even wearing like black crystals or a evil eye on you, anything like that that can help protect you, I feel like is going to be important. But it does feel like you're feeling called to spend some time alone, maybe get a lot of rest. And I just looked at my timer and it was 1555. So a lot of angel numbers around you guys. I was like suddenly just called to look at it right when it was, 555. So again, I feel like when you're getting so many angel numbers, this is also confirmation of how psychic you guys are at this time. And also that message of you not to doubt, not to question yourself, but to really trust this process. Let's get into some of these cards for pile number 2 for the month of April. So we got empty well. Yeah, it does feel like you guys are burnt out. Time to replenish. It does feel like you guys need a lot of rest. And this is where I said, take some spiritual baths. It's okay if you get burnt out and you need to spend a weekend in bed watching trashy reality TV or scrolling through TikTok or whatever, or maybe something more productive that would bring you more energy faster. But either way, it's okay to really take it easy on yourself. And I think that's something you guys are going to be called to do this month, is like look after your physical energy instead of pushing yourself to the bone. I feel like you guys are going to need extra rest in the month of April. I feel like you guys are going to need sleep. I feel like you are going to need some time to yourself, and that's okay. But this might not be the most month to like go pedal to the metal, press the gas, let's go 100%. Feels like this is almost a month of like, let me take a step back, let me pause a little bit, let me chill, and let me relax a little bit. Let's see, what other cards are we going to get for pile number 2 for the month of April? This one says, many masks the authentic self. And I feel like that's what kind of burns you out, is the idea of having to wear a mask in front of others and like not being able to be super authentic because people have these expectations of you. And again, Spirit has that message that you don't actually have to engage in that. People can have all kinds of expectations of you, but you are under no obligation to live up to that. You don't have to, just because someone thinks you are a certain way, you don't have to be that for them. Whether that's they think you're so sweet and so nice. So can we get together and I'll just talk with you about my ex-boyfriend that I'm going to get back together with in 2 days for like 3 hours over a glass of wine, and can't you just spend time talking with me? I feel like a lot of, especially like spiritual people, fall into that where they really want to seem nice, they really want to seem kind, so they kind of overexert themselves and kind of like overburden themselves, and they don't set up those clear boundaries. And this is where I think you need to get really granular about like your schedule, about your energy. You really need to learn to pay attention to the energy in your body and be like, oh yeah, I'm burnt out, I need a break today. Or yeah, I have the energy today, I could do it. But do you want to do it? Because if you don't, it's okay to say no. And giving yourself that permission of like, I don't really owe anyone anything, and I'm just going to do what works for me, is actually such a great way to level up. So I think for you guys, this is also a month of you really learning to exert your boundaries. And there is the risk within this month that if you don't learn to exert your energy, your boundaries with that 5 of Wands reverse, there could be a lot of people trying to take advantage of that, or trying to come in and push you around or get you to do what they want. So again, that reminder that you are empowered, you have all the power in the world, and you can always say no if someone's asking too much of you. You don't have to try to be a certain person so that someone will like you or someone accepts you. And if they're not okay with your boundaries, that's kind of a red flag anyway. So maybe you don't even want to hang out with them, But let's get some of these cards for pile number 2. We want to get some messages for pile 2 for the month of April. What messages do we have for the month of April? So we got, come together, we need each other. Where have you been separating yourself or pushing against others and the world? You can create your own reality. What you want wants you to. So with this card coming out, I am feeling like this is a month where you guys aren't going to be super like sociable. It feels like maybe this is a little bit of an isolated month, or just spending time on your own. But if you're feeling burnt out from that, or that is a bad habit that you've been going through for a while, like maybe you have been isolating yourself for a while, and you feel a little bit lonely at times, or you kind of feel burnt out from that, or you just don't feel great, there is that message again that you can change that energy at any time, and that it's also okay to need others. It's okay to feed off the energy of others, not to need, but to enjoy others, to get a charge off them, to feel like that's a beautiful part of life, is being around others in communion. And if you're like, yeah, I've been spending a lot of time alone and I'd like to be around others, I'd like to find friends, there's that message that you are the master of your destiny, right? So you can also make that choice of like, I'm going to go out to the church social. I'm going to sign up for like bingo night. I'm going to go on Bumble BFF. I'm going to hit up some random, I don't know, like knitting night or whatever interests you have. Or I'm going to go to like my Pilates class and I'm going to talk to the girl next to me, and I'm just going to like strike up a conversation. I've met friends that way where just randomly I'm like, that person looks cool. I feel like we'd get along. And then just basically being like, hey, let's become friends and just start talking to them. So yeah, it's like you have to be the one to sometimes instigate it, to choose that energy, to seek it out, to be like, I'm going to make this happen. Not, I'm just going to sit back and I hope they talk to me. Maybe they'll look over here and we can, but like, go up to them and maybe it feels awkward and be like, hey, would you ever want to go grab drinks? I'm new in town. But you have to be the one to choose that and to seek that out. You can't like wait for it to fall in your lap. So yeah, I just feel like you guys are being called to focus on your energy, how you feel. And it feels like you have been doing shadow work. You'll continue to do shadow work, but you create your own reality. So you can have whatever you want in life. If you are cool with spending time alone and you're enjoying this hermit mode, then by all means continue. But if you're also missing others, it's okay to bring them into your life as well. So we got express yourself creatively, start something new. I love that for you guys. What creative pursuits you feel drawn to? As I've been saying, I really see this as a very creative month with a lot of creative value for you guys. And there's also a message that if you're in the weeds with a creative project, maybe you've been writing something and it's just been going on a long time and you're kind of burnt out, this is your message that you're kind of in the thick of it, but things will get better, and not to despair or not to be like, oh, it's going on forever, because it's like you're right in the middle of it right now and it's going to get easier as time goes on. We also got what is has no bearing on what will be. What does your ideal life look and feel like? And I definitely think you guys should be meditating on that as well. It feels like you guys are in a very wintry month. I know this is the month of April, but this is how I see things or feel things, I guess, during my readings. I associate a lot of energy with the seasons and obviously with astrology, the astrological seasons and whatnot. And to me, this feels like a winter month, kind of an inward, interior month where you're doing a lot of thinking, you're doing a lot of reflecting, you're doing a lot of reflection, and that's okay. So it doesn't feel like it's the most vivid month of like action, which I would associate more with summer or maybe spring. It feels like this is a month to kind of go inside and to think and to reflect on what you want. And these are such incredible months for planning, for mapping out your future, for thinking about the kind of life you want to create for yourself. So it's not a bad thing to have a winter month. It's actually so powerful. And like I said, if you look at places that have seasons versus don't have seasons, it's always the places that get a lot of rain or the places that have a really heavy winter that have the best, brightest summer and spring and have the most growth. So, and like by growth, I just mean trees and like life and animals and flowers. So we need all that rain or we need the cold in order to create the beautiful bounty of the blossoming trees and whatnot. And so when you're going through winter, just keep that in mind. Like, this is happening so that I can have better and bigger growth than if I was like in a desert and every day it was just super nice and warm and, and I could go outside in my tank top. It's better, even though it stinks sometimes to be in the cold, it's going to help you grow even more. So let's get some astrology dice for pile number 2. That almost fell off, but we caught it, and it is on Cancer. So we have, yeah, we got the South Node, the 3rd house. I mean, it's the North Node, but it's reversed. So yeah, I feel like for you guys, you may be doing a lot of spiritual deep thinking. Even past life regressions could be very impactful for you. It could be a great idea for you to do a meditation on your past lives or try to do a guided meditation to reflect back on a past life for you. We also got the 3rd house, again, of communication. Speaking of the other major writer placement, of course, it's Gemini, the other Mercury ruled placement. Geminis are also incredible at communication. So we have Virgo and Gemini reflected here. I definitely feel like there's something you guys are supposed to communicate, write, get out, put out in the world. And both of those signs are such incredible communicators with such brilliant minds. And it's always great when I love listening to any Virgo or Gemini. Like, they can talk about anything to me because I'm always like, yeah, that's so interesting. That's such a great thought. Even the way they word things is just beautiful to listen to. And like I said, if you want to, feel like this is unfair and feel like we need some astrological like fairness initiative, look at how many writers have Gemini and Virgo placements. It's like, wow, that's just you know what? Some people have all the luck, but that's okay. All the signs are good at different things. And of course, you don't have to have those placements in order to be a great writer. There's all different kinds of writers. Not everyone has any Gemini or Virgo or powerful Mercury. And you want to look at someone's whole chart. So don't feel bad if you don't have that. I'm just saying, I feel like for you guys, this would be a great month to write, to do creative expression, to do something with that. And also we have Cancer. Cancer is a homebody. It literally is the moon rules over the home. Cancer is the home, the mom. So this could be a great month for puttering around, cooking, cleaning, spending time on your own, being at home, resting, recharging. Cancer also loves to sleep. I feel like a lot of you guys, also Cancer, super psychic. Cancer, of course, ruled by the moon, and an extremely intuitive and creative sign. So I feel like for you guys, this is really a great month to just be indoors, be inside, do some spiritual work, do some creative work, write, get out whatever this is that it feels like has been bottled up inside you and just wants to be put out there in the world, and really learning to trust your intuition this month. The shadow work feels like it's really paying off, and you might still be going through the thick of it during this month with this South Node placement, or North Node reversed, I guess is what it is. But yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys are just getting such incredible downloads, and this is your month, I feel, to really look inside yourself and to really go very deep into who you are, who your soul is, and what you want for your future, and thinking about all those things. So yeah, that is what I have for you, pile number 2. I really hope it resonates. If it does, let me know down in the comments, and please give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. And if you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about your career, and we get into a lot of depth about your career. Before that, I posted a reading about money and also a love reading. So there's lots and lots of content, over 80 exclusive readings you'll only get access to on Patreon. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos, and you also get to vote and suggest new topics for my Patreon. So it's very interactive as well. So if you're interested in signing up and joining us over on Patreon, getting all that content, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description, and I'd love to see you there on Patreon. Also, if you would like to get a private reading with me, I do those at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want me to open channel and just let through whatever needs to come through and just kind of allow your ancestors, angels, your team, your guides to come through, or whether you have some really specific questions you want to get to the bottom of, either one works. You can book that session with me, like I said, at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So you guys got the 5 of Cups reversed, the 6 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the 2 of Swords. So with the 5 of Cups reversed, leading off this reading, I do feel like some of you guys may be hearing from an ex, or having an ex just really think of you. So someone from your past may be reaching out. This could even be non-romantic, like an old family member or friend you haven't talked to in a while. But I do feel like there's someone from your past that maybe no longer has access to you, and you're really on their mind quite a lot. This could also be some of you guys reflecting on people that are no longer in your life, an old relationship, old friendship, old family member that you don't talk to anymore. And if that's the case, Spirit just has a message for you to remember that how things were at the time, because it's easy for for things to suddenly look beautiful through the lens of memory. It reminds me of the Tame Impala song Lost in Yesterday, where he says, and even terrible memories turn into great ones, and it's really true. Like, even the most janky situation, when we look back, we can be like, oh my God, but that was so great. And that's that song, the lyrics are like, remember when we were living in squalor, wasn't it heaven? And of course you're like, living in squalor, why would that be heaven? But that's the thing, is like, when you look back from the past, it can be like, oh, that was such a simple time. Oh, it was so cool. We were broke, we didn't have any money, and it was a wild free time. But probably at the time you were more worried with like, how am I going to pay for dinner? How am I going to afford this? And it's easy to romanticize it in the future when everything worked out okay. So For you guys, this is your memory. This is your reminder that if there's someone that you've been really thinking about, or you're like, oh, like maybe I should, oh, maybe I miss them, maybe blah blah blah. It's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If you really feel like, no, I genuinely miss this person, and I would love them back, and it was a great time in my life, then by all means listen to your own intuition. But this could be about how sometimes things look foggy and beautiful and misty and gorgeous through the lens of memory, through that kind of moon Neptune lens of making everything a little bit more beautiful, but you can't quite see it clearly, because the moon in astrology connects with our memories. So if you think about looking at things through, and the past, specifically the past, so if you're looking at things through moonlight, you could imagine that you can't quite see it clearly, right? And so for you guys, this is your reminder that there's some of you guys that need to hear that maybe things weren't as great back then as you romanticize it, or think about it and like remember the good things. So just a little message for some of you guys with that. With the Six of Pentacles, some of you guys could be getting a payment or some kind of increase in money in some kind. This could also be the opposite though, because the Six of Pentacles can go both ways. So it could be someone getting money from you or you giving out money. So it is a general reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest, but there could be extra expenditures this month or some kind of lump sum increase in payment or some kind of pay raise, some kind of money coming in somehow for you. So it could be a really good thing, it could be a really bad thing. I know it's tax season in the US at least, so this could be that kind of expenditure, and then you pay and then they pay you back. So could be a double whammy on both sides. But I do feel like for you guys, there's a focus on your money this month. There's some kind of accounting that's happening. There's some kind of like tabulation going through, and checking the money or cashing the money or adding up the money, counting the money, that kind of a thing. With the Knight of Swords as well, this could also connect again to that ex from your past. There may be communication happening, especially from, if this is someone you cut off in the past. This could also be you. I feel like your energy is almost like you're being more blunt this month, or there's an energy around you of being more honest and no longer parsing your words and worrying about what other people think or what other people have to say about it. It feels like you're just like, yeah, I said what I said. And I feel like that's an energy that your guides, angels, and ancestors are really proud of you of, and they do want you to embrace that energy in April. I also feel like there's an energy of someone in your life almost trying to not lie to you or trick you, because that's too strong of a word, but I feel like this person kind of like does things their way, and they kind of like, haha, whatever, yeah, I did what I wanted. And they kind of know that like maybe sometimes you get annoyed by it or you're not really getting things the way you want, but they don't really care that much because it works for them. And I just feel like there's an energy that the only way you're going to be able to actually deal with this is by being honest and truthful to yourself and to others about what you want. So no longer going along to get along, no longer just being like, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, I didn't want a piece of pizza anyway. It's fine that you ate the whole thing. But being like, yeah, I did want that pizza. You ate all of it? Well, maybe you can go out and get me a new pizza or something, like just being more honest and more upfront, and maybe even just learning to communicate your boundaries more clearly in whatever this area is, whether it's career, whether it's relationship. I feel like there's some energy about you needing to learn to raise your voice, and that may really be coming to a head in the month of April. You may be really learning that you need to say what you feel and say what's on your mind and speak up. Yeah, I also could see some of you guys dating more this month, especially if you're single. And if you are, I feel like you're going to need to use your boundaries while you're dating, because this could be someone who is dating you and tries to push the boundaries a little bit, or someone who you're going on a few different dates with new people and they try to push your boundaries. And there is a message that only you can learn to stand up for yourself. And I know it's easier said than done. Of course, sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's really hard to be like, screw you, or to say exactly what you're thinking. And it's sometimes easier just to like go along and just kind of, but I feel like Spirit is really calling on you, that Spirit wants you to learn to address things early on, is what I'm hearing. Because I feel like sometimes you guys let things kind of build up and then it like explodes like a tea kettle just boiling over, and then just, suddenly the water's overflowing out of it. and maybe it had been going off for a while and steam had been pouring out for a while, but it just reaches that boiling point and just starts exploding over. And I feel like for you, you really need to learn to, again, address things up front. Say things early so that they don't spill over into this bigger debacle. They don't turn into some kind of a crisis, because it's almost like some of these things could be addressed, could be taken care of in a much better way if you were willing to be upfront, honest, and truthful about how you feel. So I feel like a major theme for this month is truthfulness, honesty, not just towards others, towards yourself, about what you want, saying what's on your mind, not worrying so much about how others think. There's also a message for you that you're very in demand and desirable. And there's a message about you guys being very creative this month, or kind of being like lost in the, how do I say, head in the clouds. I was thinking of that song by Chromeo, Lost on the Way Home, which I feel like is such a creative song, and it has Solange in it, and she's very like creative. She's very Aquarian. She kind of does her own thing, you know? And I feel like that's kind of your vibe as well. Like you're just kind of little drifty, dreamy this month, and kind of marching to the beat of your own drum, doing your own thing. There's a message that the more selective you are with your time, the more in demand you'll be. So don't worry about like, what if this person doesn't see me and they lose interest? Or what if I turn down this invitation and I don't show up and my friends start inviting me to things? I feel like it's almost like the more time you spend on your own, or by your, not that you should isolate yourself, because of course, you know, human connection is amazing and we can get so much from connecting with others. But I also feel like there's a message that when you spend time by yourself on your own, recharging your batteries, you truly are the best version of yourself. So it may be worth learning to say no, put up a boundary, turn someone down, you know, just be willing to put up a little bit of a wall, or say no to something, and actually you might be having better results by doing that. So don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh my gosh, but if I turn this person down, or if I tell them no, or if I say what I want, they're going to lose interest. It's actually the opposite. I feel like you don't realize how in demand your energy is this month. Pile number 3, you don't understand how much people love to be around you, how much people get from being with you, how much people enjoy you, and how much people remember you. And you are not just a flash in the pan that someone's going to forget in 5 seconds because you couldn't hang out that day. So don't be afraid, and also focus on your own interests, because you are a very interesting person, pile number 3, but you are interesting because you really, you're kind of an intellectual. You have all these different interests. You're very creative. Your mind is very sharp and intelligent. And the more time you spend feeding that, feeding yourself, and being that version of yourself that is endlessly creative and curious and mind going a million miles an hour, the better you're going to be for others. So do not worry about like, well, if I spend this weekend all by myself, my friends are going to be mad at me. They're not going to want to hang. No, they'll probably want to hang with you more. And I also feel like you really recharge your energy that way. You recharge your energy field. So it's actually a really good thing for you to spend time alone. Let's get some more cards for pile number 3 for the month of April. So we got the Magician, the Hanged Man, or the Hangman. Wow, okay, I'm a little tired today, but we got the 10 of Swords. Kind of similar cards, I guess. That was a funny slip up. Maybe there's a reason for that, but I don't know. And the Judgment card and the 5 of Swords. Yeah, the Judgment card, or excuse me, the 5 of Swords makes a lot of sense for me with you, because I have been sensing like that slippery energy around you. I'm not saying someone's trying to trick you, but I feel like, again, you don't understand how in demand your power is, pile number 3. Oh, it was just 11:11 when I looked at my timer, so confirmation, beautiful angel number for pile number 3. But 5 of Swords could definitely be someone who's a little misleading, not being fully transparent, not being fully honest with you. And also with the 5 of Swords, it could be someone that really likes your energy, but doesn't have the best intentions, or is just kind of like, well, let me take what I get from this situation. You know, I don't really have any long-term plans, but this works for me now. And you just want to make sure, again, that you're being protective of yourself and you're not overly giving, because I do feel like you're a bit of an over giver, pile number 3. And I also feel like you tend to kind of like feel like you have to do so much for others, and sometimes you don't realize, again, how much you instantly bring to the table just by the force of your energy, just by the force of what a unique, unusual, kind of special, different type of person you are. We got the Magician card for you. So again, the energy of someone who is really this fascinating creator. And of course, the Magician card relates to Mercury. Mercury is the energy of, yeah, the kind of the inventor, the thinker. They always have a million things to say. I love talking to Gemini, Virgo placements. Both of those are ruled by Mercury because they always have something so interesting to talk about. They always have something so interesting to say. And I don't think you realize how much you bring to the table in that sense, how different you are, how unique you are, how special you are, and how much you stick out of the crowd. And so when that happens, there can also be people that love that energy and they want some of that energy for themselves. So again, I just feel like you need to be careful with some of the people you spend time with or how you give your energy away in the month of April, because I also feel like you're being called to really spend time on your interests, not to neglect. If you have like a hobby or something, make sure you're actually taking the time with that as well, because it is special and important, and I do feel like the universe wants you to put it out there. We also got the Judgment. The Judgment card can totally talk about some kind of reinvention, being reborn, finding a different aspect of yourself, your personality, discovering different parts of who you are. And I feel like for the Judgment card as well, that can be the energy that when you are different and unique, you sometimes attach or attract a lot of judgment from others. You sometimes have a lot of people who are maybe like looking at it critically because you are different. You do stick out from the crowd and they can't handle it, or that makes them feel weird because they've been going along with the crowd and they don't understand why you won't go along with the crowd. So I feel like this month is just your reminder to really continue marching to the beat of your own drum. Pile number three, excuse me. Let me get some more cards for pile 3. What is happening in the month of April for pile number 3? Angel of Balance. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. And the Magician and the Mirror. You are such a powerful manifester. Pile number 3. And I also feel like it's almost like you don't see your potential and you don't see how far you guys are going to go in life, or you don't see that you have this incredible success energy around you, this shining star energy around you. And you don't see how valuable that is to others and how others see you, and you just stand out of the crowd. For some reason, you need to be reminded of this in this reading. I'm hearing the song Bejeweled, and I love when she's like, I can still make the whole room shimmer. And I feel like that's your vibe. Like I don't know if you've been compromising yourself for someone else, or you've been trying to fit in with a crowd that doesn't really get you, but there is this really strong message that you need to appreciate how special you are, how much you bring to the table, and how much people are just dazzled by you. You have so many different options. So many people want to be near you, and so why are you sacrificing yourself for someone else? Like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm not saying you have to be a total jerk, but maybe having a little bit more balance and learning to be more of a person who is going to look after their own interests and then someone else's interests as well. We have the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, and so that can be about learning to put up boundaries, learning to say no, and also learning to listen to our gut, learning to listen to our intuition, and learning to move away from those things that don't resonate with us and from those things that we just don't feel good with, we just don't feel attracted to, or we just don't feel aligned with. We also got Magician in the Mirror again. So that is really a card of alchemy and really learning to balance that emotional side as well as the more logical side or the more energetic side. I feel like for you guys, this is about maybe removing yourself from a situation in which you don't feel as appreciated, and learning that you don't have to compromise yourself to get anyone else's love. Let me get some of these cards for pile number 3. What messages do we have for pile 3? What messages do we have for pile number 3 for the month of April? So we got skywriting, the fates. In the hand, the universe is your partner. Repairing the veil, forgiveness, and let's get one more. Okay, we got 2 more. Jeweled web, connectivity, and mindful group think. So yeah, I feel like there are so many people in your life that want to come back from the past with this repairing the veil forgiveness card. It feels like there are so many people that are missing your presence in their life. And maybe this is why this message had to come through, is because I feel like there's people in your life now that take you for granted. And it's almost like this parallel between the people in your life that used to take you for granted and you cut them out. This makes so much sense as to why both these messages were coming through, because I was kind of confused. But yeah, the people you cut out that you were like, okay, I don't really want anything to do with this person anymore. I'm at my limit. You know, they've hit my boundary. I'm done. And then you also have the people that are currently in your life that are also taking you for granted. There's something about your love that I feel like is so all-encompassing, so kind, so sweet, so joyful, that you just really let people in truly and deeply into your heart. And that's a beautiful thing, but it's also important to have some boundaries and to learn to say no, or to learn, you know, what makes you feel disrespected in a relationship versus respected, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel looked after, and what makes you feel like, no, I can't deal with this. Because the thing is that you have to take some responsibility as well for the times when you've let that kind of ride out of control, like the times when you have allowed someone to disrespect you, the times when you have been like, yeah, you know what, no, I'm sure they didn't mean it, and you just kind of like had to refilm this because I cursed, and we try to be good over here on YouTube. We can say the bad stuff on Patreon, but on YouTube we try to be good. So I'm gonna refilm it. But what I was saying is, you may have really overlooked stuff, or you may have a habit of overlooking stuff. And there's that message that you also have a part to play in that, because it's up to you as well to enforce your boundaries, or at least to give your boundaries, at least to communicate openly with like, yeah, I'm really, you know, I feel disrespected when you do this, or I really don't like that, instead of like just leaving or just ghosting someone, or just being like, okay, I'm done with you. Almost like giving them that chance to switch or change, because I do feel like there's people that almost like can't help but take you for granted because of how kind and loving and sweet you are. And there is this message to you about the more you can look after yourself, and the more you can actually try to advocate for yourself, listen to yourself first and foremost, instead of trying to listen to someone else first and foremost and prioritizing them over you. Prioritizing yourself first will actually alchemize and allow you to align with those people who are really going to value you and really going to kind of put you up on a pedestal and be so grateful for you. So yeah, there's your part to play in this as well, which is like, why don't we learn to stop this, you know, rock rolling down the hill early instead of allowing it to gain momentum? Why don't I say to my partner, you know, I really hate when you do this, or say to my boss, you know, I can't stay late, instead of letting it get to such a point? Because I do feel like there's so many people from your past that think about you, miss you, and truly if they could do it differently now they would, but you've cut them out and moved on. And there's a message that in your current life you need to remember how valuable your energy is, and just stop doing the same cycle. Just stop selling yourself out to appease others and then having to cut them off because they overstepped boundaries. Just have those firm boundaries up front. You know what I mean? So let's get some messages for you. Pile number 3 for the month of April. We want to know, oh, that's way too many cards. Why did 3 cards come out? Let's just get one card at a time, Spirit. We need 1 card at a time for pile number 3. So this one says, you heal by releasing, not suppressing. What emotions you need to feel. And this could be another great message for you about, you know, sometimes when we don't have strong boundaries, it's not even that we're ignoring our boundaries, it's that we don't even know what they are. We don't even know what a deal breaker would be for us, or what would make us feel really bad and disrespected. And it's really great to get clear with that early on, so that we know that we can at least communicate that as well to our partner. Because like, if we don't know, how are they supposed to know? If we don't know what we will not tolerate with a friend, then we're not going to know that's a firm boundary and a hard no until they've already passed over that line, and then you can't go back. So if we can establish that early on for ourselves and be honest with ourselves about like, well, when I'm in a relationship and someone does that, I feel really bad. Or when I'm at a career or a job or in a friendship and someone acts this way, I feel really horrible. So we can at least communicate and give them a chance, because I feel like, again, you don't know how valuable your energy is and how much people are willing to fight for it and willing to do things to make you happy because they want you in their life. So stop. Why are you trying to appease people when your energy is so freaking valuable? Pile number 3. Okay, let's get some more cards. We got eliminate distractions, stop shining light on things you are not. How can you reclaim your power? I really feel like this energy or this message for you is really about power this month, about claiming your power, about knowing your power, about appreciating your power, and about not prioritizing other people's interests over your own. So this is like you feeling comfortable with that power and you feeling comfortable being center stage or having eyes on you or having people who prioritize you. I feel like in a way when someone starts like prioritizing you too much or giving too much to you, you kind of get nervous. You kind of like sabotage it a little. Like you feel much more comfortable in the helper role than when someone's helping you. And I feel like you need to be better about receiving. Pile number 3. Let's get some more cards for pile 3. What messages do we have for pile 3? We got the universe rewards emotion. What guided action can you take lately? Right. Oh, can you take today? And then this one is great awakening. You walk in the truth, stand firm in your light. How can you trust yourself more? Yeah, I feel like there's a message about you guys knowing what is right for you deep down, but kind of going against it. This is really about listening to your own inner voice, maybe meditating more, maybe listening to yourself in that sense more. And I feel like it's really important for you to just be strong and be willing to stick to your beliefs, your values, to know them, to know yourself, and then to not be afraid to like enforce them. I feel like for you guys, this month of April is really about realizing your own power and no longer holding yourself back or no longer trying to appease or make everyone else happy. Let's get some astrology dice for pile number 3. So we got the sun, the 2nd house, the 12th house. How did I misread my own energy? Pisces energy. And then we have Aquarius. So we have Leo, Pisces, and Aquarius. So let's start with Leo. Leo is the sun, the center of the universe that all the other planets rotate around. And Leo energy is never afraid to prioritize themselves or to shine brightly and to ask for what they want. And I really feel like that's your energy, is like you kind of taking center stage, you kind of knowing your own worth and your own power, and how much, like I said, how much you bring to the table, how much people are delighted by you, how much they love to be around you, how infectious and beautiful your energy is. I really feel like this is your time to kind of remember that and to seize hold of that. We also have the 12th house. The 12th house is Pisces, and Pisces energy can be a house of personal undoing and be overly self-sacrificial. That whole axis with Virgo is very self-sacrificial, trying to serve others and sometimes sacrificing their own interests and needs in order to be this like helper to people. So I almost feel like this energy is like pushing away Pisces energy for this situation, you know, because Pisces can be that empath that helps everyone else and doesn't really help themselves, and then also goes into victim mode. And I say this as a Pisces, so I love Pisces, of course. I'm biased, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we do kind of, sometimes I like playing victim. I'm not gonna lie, because I think we realize the spiritual power of victimhood, but that's a whole nother thing. But my point is sometimes like a Pisces energy can be like allowing something to happen, seeing it happen, letting it happen, watching in slow motion as it happened, and then afterwards being like, oh, I can't believe you did this to me. How could you hurt me like that? And you knew it was happening the whole time, but you just let it play out, you know? And so sometimes it's actually good to like stand up, assert yourself. And we at Pisces don't really love to do that. We just kind of like to like avoid situations, swim away when they get hard. But sometimes it's better to deal with it head on and to stand up and to be like, no, listen, you need to stop. And then we don't get to have the victimhood fun afterwards, but it's probably better long term if we want those relationships to persist. So this is a time for you to really reflect on your old relationships, what didn't work out, how things fell apart, and how you can kind of create better, firmer relationships in the future. Then we also have Aquarius, and of course Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. It relates to the 11th house of large groups. Again, there's a lot of fame energy around here because like the Aquarius Leo axis is kind of a fame axis, and it often shows someone who's really popular, well beloved, someone that a lot of people are drawn to in different ways. Aquarius, very different from Leo, but they are on that same axis. So I feel like for you guys, you don't realize how in demand you are. You don't realize how valuable you are, and you make people feel so good around you that they start taking you for granted after a while too. This is your message. So like, stop doing that. Stop sacrificing yourself. Stop prioritizing others over you. Realize that you are the star. Aquarius rules the star in tarot, and you need to be treated as such. You need to be treated like the sun and kind of worshipped. You know what I mean? Because a lot of cultures worship the sun. You really are super valuable, pile number 3. So don't let people mistreat you. Don't let people take you for granted, and be willing to voice and communicate those boundaries and concerns early on. So that is what I have for you, pile number 3. I really hope it resonates. If it does, let me know down in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, so let me know what you think, and make sure to subscribe, like this reading, all that. And if you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about your career. So we get into a lot of detail about your career, everything you need to know with that. Before that, I posted a reading about your money situation. So the financial ambitious girls, there's a lot of readings for you lately for that. There's also a love reading I just posted. I can't remember what the topic was, but it was a love reading. And there's so much content. There's over 80 different exclusive readings you only get access to on Patreon. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. They always get posted over there first. You guys also get to vote and suggest new readings over on Patreon, so it's super interactive. If all that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you would like to get a private session with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want me to open channel and just allow your guides, angels, ancestors to come through with whatever messages they have, or whether you have a really specific question you want me to get to the bottom of, either one works, and you can book that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 4, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards. So you guys got the 7 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, the 7 of Swords, and the Hierophant. So it really feels like this month you are at the top of your game in a lot of different ways. I feel like career-wise, you're doing well. You may be very in demand, very busy. And it also feels like socially you have a lot going on. So there may be a lot of social events, social endeavors happening for you this month. You may have a packed schedule or social calendar, but I also feel like you have enough natural energy this month where it doesn't feel like you're getting burnt out or you're like, oh, I'm so exhausted, like I'm so sick, I just want to be in bed. It feels like you have the energy and you're excited to do all these things, and you are making a lot of great forward momentum, whether it comes to your social life, whether it comes to your career. I feel like especially career, they're being highlighted, or they are highlighting, and especially like, I don't know, there's certain goals. You know what? They just told me a message. You're closer to your goals than you think you are. So even if you don't achieve them this month in April, I feel like you're making really great strides. You're moving ahead in some way. And by the time, you know, April is over, maybe you have made some great forward momentum. Even if you're not there yet, I feel like things are truly moving ahead for you and you're doing really well. Your guides just want to acknowledge that. And April seems like another busy, productive month for you. It feels like you're, you know, moving things forward. You're moving things into the future for yourself. So honestly, I feel like career-wise, maybe academically, but whatever is happening in your kind of career sector of your life right now feels like it's super positive, and I feel like you guys are not going to be really resting a whole lot. It feels like you have a lot of things on your plate and a lot of things happening for you. Also, we got the Nine of Cups. So again, there may be a lot of time to spend with loved ones. This could be spending time with family, with friends. It could be meeting new people, going out, socializing. I almost feel like this is like work hard, play hard type of energy where, someone works really hard throughout the week, but then they're also going out on the weekend as well. And they may be drinking a little, they may be having some fun. But honestly, the month of April just seems kind of like a flurry of activity, busyness. I'm hearing some of you guys will be traveling. I'm seeing someone all dressed up in like really cute. To me, they look like Easter clothes, like the clothes you would wear after Easter to church or to a nice like Easter luncheon or something. But I'm seeing someone really dressed up. And of course, I think Easter is during April, right? I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that makes sense for what I'm seeing with that. So you may be having some kind of really special Easter celebration. I know also at the time of filming this, Ramadan is going on. I don't know if that's going to be over before April, but I know there's a lot of different cultures that celebrate things during spring. And so I feel like you guys are going to be doing some kind of a spring celebration in this month of April. We do have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant can definitely talk about traditional church structures or spiritual structures. But it could even be connecting with, if you have like pagan beliefs, there's a lot of pagan festivals and stuff that happen during this time as well. So either way, you might be doing something during the month of April to welcome in the energy of spring. I'm also seeing someone walking outside in nature. So especially if you live in a place that has been really cold, this might be your month where you are out hiking, getting in nature. And I feel like that would be really good for you because I also feel like you, pile number 4, are very tied spiritually to nature. A lot of you guys connect deeply with like plants and animals, and you get a lot out of that. And that might be a way for you to recharge your batteries. But I'm also seeing people in this pile take trips. And for those of you guys who have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner, you may be spending a lot of time with them and going on a trip, or someone's going on like a camping trip or something like that. It feels almost like nothing fancy or not something too fancy, but you guys are really spending time with each other and deepening the connection. I feel like having some kind of really deep heart-to-heart, beautiful connections with that. This could also even be going out with friends and just making those friendships a lot deeper. And I'm also hearing some of you guys maybe experimenting in the kitchen or learning how to cook a lot in April. I just saw an angel number 444. I always love when that happens during a reading. It's just confirmation to me that you guys are being watched over by your team. You have your angels, ancestors around you. So I had to mention it. But yeah, I feel like some of you guys may be learning how to cook and also learning some other skill as well. Maybe someone is picking up like knitting or embroidery, needlework, or writing or singing or whatever. But I feel like some of you guys are really going to be learning a skill and deepening it during the month of April. And I'm also seeing someone who keeps going on walks. I know I mentioned hiking through nature, but this just feels like a walk around the neighborhood. And I'm seeing someone walk a dog, but I don't think all of you guys will have a dog. But it does feel like April is going to be a month to really get outside and kind of get your thoughts together, because I feel like a lot of you guys, especially, it's almost like my pile 4s, there's so much information coming through. I'm like, wow, this is like multiple things that they want me to mention. It's kind of hard to even verbalize all of it. But I think it's because you guys are so busy all the time. It feels like you guys are just constantly doing stuff, like pedal to the metal, a million miles an hour, just never pausing. And I think because of that, that's why maybe your guides really want you, like, it's okay to be energetic. It's a great thing. Maybe some of you guys are generators or manifesting generators in human design. And of course, we love that strong, beautiful energy of generators. But it's also maybe good to, like, if you want to recharge through physical activity, if you want to recharge through going into nature, that can be a great time to kind of pull your energy back and collect yourself so that you can be even more balanced and even more energetic for others around you. I'm also seeing someone going to a lot of museums or broadening their knowledge. It feels like there's a very restless energy around you, pile 4. Like, it almost feels like you have an abundance of energy and you kind of don't know what to do with it, or you have a million different interests and so many things you want to learn, and you're kind of like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to begin. Maybe you also have creative projects you've been inspired to start with, but you also are like, but what do I start writing? And I haven't had time, or I feel like you feel very divided. And again, there's a message for you to just kind of pause, take deep breaths. Maybe even you could spend time meditating a little bit. I'm not saying you have to go into a full like 3 hour long meditation on a yoga mat and like, burn incense and do the whole 9 yards. You can do that, of course, if you want to. It can be a great experience, but it's okay to meditate just laying in bed, or even like in the shower, or just literally anywhere, just sitting in a chair. If you just have a few moments to yourself, it's okay to just kind of pause and see what spirit has to say to you. So I feel like that could be a good message for you if your energy is feeling a little scattered, if you're feeling like you're doing a million things, or you have a million interests and you don't know what to do, or you're just constantly feeling the need to be busy, busy, busy. Sometimes that can be a way that we use to repress emotions. We can keep ourselves busy because we're too afraid to really look at our emotions in the mirror and acknowledge them. So whenever I find myself artificially making myself busy and being like, let me book this, let me do this, let me go there, that's almost my message, like, okay, wait, pause, calm down, let me pull back, and let me see what is bubbling up inside me that I've been repressing. What comes up when I give myself a moment of pause and silence? What emotion is it? And sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes you just want to stay busy, but a lot of times maybe there's some fear, maybe there's some pain, maybe there's some kind of traumatic memory, or who knows what, that we need to address. And I feel like for you guys, this is your message to kind of pause, think before you act. With the Seven of Swords, sometimes it can talk about how, we need to process things. We need to think things through clearly, not just rushing into action, not just like trusting everyone, or just kind of like acting before we think. We really need to take that moment to like, okay, let me consider what's going on here and let me be strategic. And that can be our advantage when we don't rush into things, when we kind of take our time. So let me get some more cards for pile number 4. What is going to be happening for pile 4 in the month of April? What is going to be happening for pile 4 in the month of April? Wheel of Fortune. I almost said there's a lot of fire energy in this pile, which I definitely feel. A lot of fire, a lot of that fire, like quick action energy. Ooh, the Ten of Pentacles and the Justice card. Ten of Pentacles is always a good sign. And finally, the Four of Cups. So some of you guys are going to be planning really amazing trips, I feel like, this month. I'm seeing someone doing like an amazing summer trip that's going to look so good and going to have probably some really amazing photos on Instagram and everything. But some of you guys are really feeling the travel bug, and it makes sense with the Wheel of Fortune because that connects through to Sagittarius and Jupiter. So for you guys, Sagittarius always feels that need to explore, to be on to the next, to try new things. And again, I just want to say, like, if you're feeling like, you're kind of anxious, and not anxious, but you're kind of antsy and you want to do a million things and you want to go a million places, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as we're not acting out of a place of fear or repressing our energy. Sagittarians just love to be bold, to explore, to try new things. Of course, Gen Z is ruled by Pluto and Sagittarius. So a lot of Gen Zs just have this innately in their, in their nature. Even if that's their only planet, it still can be a powerful influence. So for a lot of you guys, you may just be really feeling called to like plan a fun summer, go do things, go out to the club, go out to socialize, go have fun, go enjoy. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, especially if you have Sagittarius or even heavy Jupiter. So even a Pisces could be feeling this energy really strongly, or a really strongly aspected Jupiter where you just want to explore and do a million things. But Sag is definitely the master of this. So especially Sag placements really feel it when they have been bored for a while and they haven't done anything new. And this could be a message about, maybe you feel like you have this excess energy when it comes to your career and you want to be doing more or whatever. And it's okay to also direct that towards different things. Like, we don't have to pour it all into a relationship or all into a career, or feel like, I feel antsy again, time for me to move, which is a mistake a lot of Sagittarius can make. But instead, we could take it and be like, I feel really antsy. Okay, let me pick up a hobby and let me do something productive. Let me, I don't know, plan a trip with my friends. Let me plan a little road trip. Maybe I don't have to pack my things up and move across the country. Maybe I can just try this new cafe and kind of scratch that itch for myself, you know? So yeah, I feel like in the month of April, a lot of you guys are going to be exploring, broadening your horizons, maybe learning something new. Sages are such a sign that love to learn. They literally rule the ninth house of education. So either way, I just feel like for you guys, this energy when it comes to April is all about new horizons, new experiences, new areas, new locations. And you might also have the money to be able to do that with the 10 of Pentacles coming in. You may be doing really well financially. I'm feeling like this could be a really good month for you actually financially. Some of you guys could be doing really, really well. You could be making extra money this month or just doing better in your career. And it feels like people are also noticing the mastery you have when it comes to your career. So if in the past you felt like you didn't know what you were doing or people weren't really noticing you, it feels like you're kind of like, people are taking notice. People are like, wow, you've been doing a really good job in the month of April. And I also feel like some of you guys are being like a little bit more selective with what you do. Like you're not just giving your energy away, but you're being, again, strategic and really thinking that through. We also have the Justice card. And of course, justice relates to Libra. So this is a great social month for you guys. And it came out right underneath the Nine of Cups. Libras love to socialize. They really are the diplomats of the zodiac. So I really feel like for you guys, this could be a great month for you to be out and about, talking to people, socializing. This may be a great month for you to meet new people, meet new friends, put yourself out there in that way. And it may come from out of the blue because we also got the Four of Cups, which can talk about a blessing that we really don't see coming and just kind of comes out of nowhere and just seems to just, wow, where did this come from? And so, yeah, I feel like for you guys in April, it's almost like there's a lot of things being set up for the rest of the year as well. Set up for June, set up for, wow, I can't believe, yeah, April. Okay, May, we have May. Okay, thank God. I was like, this month is going way too fast. This year is going way too fast. Okay, so we have May, we have June, but I'm hearing June highlighted and July as well. And I feel like you're planning a lot of things like that. So don't be afraid to say yes to new opportunities or to travel if opportunities come up for that this month. I'm also seeing someone signing up for like a higher education thing. So it could be like, I don't know, yoga certification or a yoga class or Reiki or, you know, learning about gardening, learning about bird watching. But I feel like a lot of you guys are going to want that kind of, those kinds of new horizons. And I'm also seeing someone reach a new level in something. They just actually showed me, funnily enough, someone reaching a new level in a video game, but that doesn't have to be the case for everyone. I feel like it definitely could probably be a metaphor for something else, like reaching a new level in your career, reaching a new level with your friendships, or reaching a new level with some kind of hobby or field of knowledge that you have. Let's get into some of these cards for pile number 4. What messages do we have for the month of April? 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, and Metatron rules over, of course, the third eye chakra. So you guys may be very psychic this month as well. 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel. Okay. We have the heart chakra, cornucopia. Great financial card. Again, finances this month seem really, really good. And let's get another card. Action, yes. There's a lot of action. There's also a lot of opportunities, I feel like, to flirt, to go out, to socialize, to be around others, to have fun, to date. So if you have been kind of like in hermit mode or you haven't been dating a lot, this could be a great month to update your dating profile. Go out to a bar and socialize and talk to people, or to ask your friends to match you up. I feel like you're going to be looking good this month. And also, again, it's just going to be a great month full of like flirty, fun banter, and a lot of exciting opportunities. This is a great month for you to get out and about, put yourself out there, socialize, go out to the local, you know, cute little Italian restaurant and post up at the bar. But yeah, I feel like for you guys, it's like booked and busy is kind of the energy. Also, some of you guys, I'm hearing maybe hitting the gym, working out more, or working on your physical health and wellness in some way, getting your steps in. I'm hearing for some of you guys, maybe you're working on getting like 10,000 steps a day or something, or walking a mile a day or whatever it is. But I feel like for you guys, this is about being active, being out in the world, and really enjoying all that life has to offer. And it's almost like you have such a magnetic energy this month because you're not taking things too seriously. You know, you're not like desperate. You're not like hoping like, oh, please, I just need one friend. I just want to find my person. I feel like your energy is very exploratory, very fun, very open, and yeah, you're having a really good time. Let's get into some of these cards for pile number 4. What is going to be happening for pile 4 in the month of April, Spirit? Deep, quiet, meditation, and stillness. Okay. Magician's sword, confidence in your magic. This one says dust devil, moving out of stagnation. And let's get one more for pile number 4. What's happening in the month of April? Gathering around the power of community. Yeah, there's definitely a focus on community around you, on others, on that magical energy we get from being around other humans. I do feel like you are also being called to balance that with some time of meditation and stillness and really listening to your inner voice. And I'm also hearing that is going to help you navigate those social situations or any crazy kind of chaotic situations you're in. Remembering you can always go back to that deep, quiet place inside that knows the honest truth and knows all the answers. But I feel like for you, this is about being very bold. This could even be about dressing in a way that maybe you've wanted to dress for a while, but you were nervous about changing your style up, embracing more of a bold or experimental fashion, and being really unafraid to present yourself that way, being really unafraid to take risks or to say yes. Going to like a party, maybe with someone that you might not know that well. I'm not saying put yourself in risky situations, but I do feel like there's an energy around you that really wants you to embrace everything that life has to offer, all the risks, all the rewards, all the good things, all the bad things. And if you have been like stuck, like staying inside, kind of stuck inside the house, this is definitely a month to push yourself out of those boundaries and really explore a little bit more. I'm also seeing someone's dad come through. I don't know if some of you guys are spending more time with your dad, but it feels like there could be like a family meetup or spending time with your dad, with your brother, some kind of male family member in some way is coming forward as important somehow for this pile. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about, but yeah, I feel like it's going to be really enjoyable for you to be around your family or be around your friends, and also possibly spending time doing like physical activities, specifically like running around. That could be a great way to get out your energy as well. And for someone, I know this is a weird message, but for someone this month, there is a message that you might have extra bad like cramps on your period. So I don't know, all the ladies out there, maybe, you know, it's something to watch out for. There's something being highlighted around like someone's period. I don't know what this is, but yeah, it could be like extra bad cramps, or just kind of like that might be your time to like rest and get some more sleep or something. But yeah, or someone's like PMSing. I don't know what this is. There's a message around someone's period being highlighted. I could even see, I don't know, someone having health issues with their period or something. But I don't know what this is. It's a general reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But something to be aware of for the month of April. Let's get some messages for pile number 4. So we got, turn your worry into wonder, surrender to the experience. What possibilities can you dream into reality? This one says, there is strength in doing nothing. Wait, what have you been forcing, and how can you let go of the outcome? And I do feel like that may be hard for you, pile 4, because I even feel it in this reading, like this kind of frantic, like frenzied energy. And I feel like you definitely need to know that, you know, everything that is meant to work out for you will unfold in its perfect divine timing. So there's no reason for you to rush. There's no reason for you to feel frenzied, and everything that is yours will always be yours. So you don't even need to worry about fighting others off about competitors. I do feel like some of you guys may have people who are slightly envious around you or want what you have, and Spirit is sending you that message that they can never take what's yours. Your special, amazing energy is yours and yours alone, and no one's going to be able to copy it. No one's going to be able to fake it. You know your own value, and Spirit knows your value. And if someone tries to imitate you, that's just proof of your own power, but they're never going to be able to compare. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but don't let the haters get you down. Just take it as confirmation of how amazing you're doing. Let's get some more messages for pile number 4. We got, it's all in divine order. Allow. How can you relax into the flow and go with the current of life? And let's get one final message for pile number 4. You heal by releasing, not by suppressing. What emotions you need to feel. I do feel like there could be a feeling in this pile of some of you guys sometimes ignoring your emotions or kind of running away from your emotions because it's like hard to deal with, or because it's like a downer. So it's almost like, oh, let me just pay attention to the fun things. Let me pay attention to like how exciting it is to go out, or let me pay attention to putting my outfit together, or like my friends, or doing something kind of crazy romantically instead of really dealing with your emotions. And there is a message that you are much more powerful when you're willing to steadily address your emotions, deal with them, look at them honestly instead of running away from them. When you run away from them, they have power over you. So I feel like it's not to say you can't have fun, it's not to say you can't go out, but pile 4, also you want to be aware of your energy and knowing that you're coming at things from a place of great energetic alignment, aligning your energy with the outcome you want for yourself. So if you want a beautiful, peaceful life, making sure your energy isn't frantic and terrified and secretly scared, or you're not avoiding and running from your feelings. And if you want an exciting, happy, beautiful life, again, it's all motivated from a positive place, not a negative place that is fear deep down, or fear, or, you know, sadness or anything like that. Let's get some astrology dice for pile number 4. We got Saturn, we got the 8th house, and we got Taurus. Okay, so let's start with Saturn. Saturn can be that planet of hard lessons. Saturn is currently in Pisces, lucky Pisces for us right now. But yeah, for you guys, this could be an energy of how Saturn really does teach discipline. And Saturn teaches that we really can't run from our problems. The only way we can deal with them is by addressing them head on and being willing to go through those lessons. I feel like for you guys, Saturn is also the 10th house of career. And honestly, your career feels like it is going well for you this month. But there is that message, again, that slow and steady can win the race. Keep in mind that Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So Mars is exalted in like the most unlucky sign that is like one of the slowest signs. And it's totally counterintuitive for how we think about how you go about winning a goal, right? We think about you should be fast. You should just make it happen overnight. And that's the best kind of success. And you should be bold. You should rush in. But actually, the astrologers in their beautiful wisdom say it's exalted in Capricorn, a very cautious, slow sign. So again, there is a message that we don't have to run, we don't have to be panicked, we don't have to be frenzied, we don't have to be going a million miles an hour. We can slow down, we can go at our own pace, and that's sometimes the best way to accomplish things. So if you guys are feeling a little frenetic, if you are feeling like you always have to be busy, always have to be doing a million things at once, this can be your message that is not necessarily the way to achieve things, and for you to maybe slow down a little bit in the month of April, although I do think you're having fun with this, and it does feel like it's also positive. The 8th house is also a heavy house. It's a shadow work house for sure. It can be a house of trauma work. It of course relates to Pluto and Scorpio. So for you guys, the 8th house could talk about also your relationships with other people. The 8th house is the house of other people's money. Sometimes it can talk about owing someone money or being very tied to them, being very enmeshed with them. I feel like with the 8th house coming through, it's just your message to be very selective of people you're around and not just to let everyone into your energy. I'm not saying you should be like completely closed off, and all experiences we can grow and change from, but the 8th and 2nd house axis is highlighted. That's really being careful about what we value, what we tie ourselves to, what we allow into our lives. And Taurus is also, I feel like both Taurus and Scorpio, they're kind of very discriminating signs. Like, they're not going to just hang out with anyone. If you lie to a Scorpio, they will remember it forever. It will be such a deal breaker for them. They're always searching to see, like, are you lying? What did you just say? Let me repeat it again, because on the 13th you had mentioned this. Like, they are such great lie detectors. And so I feel like for you guys, it's not to say be overly suspicious, but it's almost like we can go into a calmer energy. And in the month of April, I feel like you're really being called to realize how valuable and special your own energy is, and not to just be in a panicked energy where you're giving yourself away to absolutely everyone willy-nilly. So as I'm saying that, it is 11:11 on the timer, and so extra confirmation for you guys. And I think we're going to end it there. I hope you guys got some closure or some answers. So let me know if you did in the comments. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon, where you can watch all my additional readings. I just posted a reading all about your career, and before that I posted a money reading, and also a love reading. So there's stuff for the career ambitious girls and the love girls, and of course the guys are always welcome as well. But if you're interested in checking that out, go to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description as well. Join me on Patreon. I also post all my YouTube videos over there first, early, so you get to watch them first when you're on Patreon. And I also do little polls and let you guys vote and suggest new readings. So it's very interactive. So if all that sounds good to you and you're interested in joining, like I said, go to the link for my Patreon in the description and the comments. And if you would like to get a private session with me, you can book that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want me to open channel for you, just let your guides, angels, ancestors come through with whatever, or you have very specific questions, either one works. And you can book that session at my website, briarrosetarot.com, link in description. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye.